And we're back, and we're going to be talking about the elections in India. Some 1 billion, shall we say, voters are taking to the ballot boxes throughout the massive country. And I'm going to be joined by my guest to discuss this, Major General Shashi Asthana. Thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure talking to you and your viewers.
Now, it's a major undertaking running these elections, some 15 million officials doing it. How long is it going to take, and what are the chances of getting everything right?
India has the experience of getting such a massive elections right every time. In fact, in the independent history of India, 77 years, and power has always been exchanged through ballot boxes. So it's a stable democracy, and the elections of this magnitude are a miracle by itself because this is the largest election in the human history which is being conducted in any country.
Well, indeed. But there are specific problems that the officials need to face in India, including dealing with illiterate voters and some distances that some people have to travel to vote. How is that governed?
India, in fact, has come a long way in dealing with such problems in a manner that firstly, we have done a fair amount of technological innovations. So you are now voting by EVMs, and EVMs are absolutely foolproof, tested by the Supreme Court of India, and therefore everybody knows that's a methodology which can be adopted. Now, these EVMs can be taken to almost all corners of the country. And all corners of the country, the way the inclusive growth has taken place, by and large have got connected. There are still certain remote areas where people have to physically go walking to take, even the officials have to go walking to take these EVMs and get the things voted there, and thereafter bring it back. But we have done it in past, and there has been I think a very successful elections earlier as well. I see no change this year. We have already gone through the first phase of the elections, which has been absolutely successful, violent-free elections without any problems. Also, as you mentioned, as far as the illiteracy is concerned, the voters are quite smart in India in a manner that they have voted very maturely, irrespective of their education level, in a manner that you will find that in certain areas, they may choose a different government at the local level and the different government at the central level. And they evaluate as to what is good for the overall development of the country, and therefore the central government must be elected appropriately. And therefore you find that Lok Sabha elections have a different result. Like take the case of Delhi. The local elections showed a different result. BJP, the ruling party, did not win a single seat there. Whereas conversely, in Lok Sabha election, within the same in the same state, you find every single seat was won by BJP. So therefore, the people of Delhi know it very well that for the local administration, maybe somebody else is better, and for the development of the nation, somebody else is better, and therefore they vote accordingly. The same is a pattern with many other states also. So we find that we have come a long way. It's a very matured kind of elections which are taking place in India.
Now, the first estimates I have of the number of voters, 62% turnout. That is also quite impressive in terms of numbers of voters compared to many democracies. What is bringing people out to vote this time?
Certainly. In fact, there is a lot of enthusiasm to vote. And there is, I think, 62%, as you rightly mentioned, is a very healthy figure for any democracy, because nowadays, as we see, not very many people vote, and there are many people also who may not be in a position to vote. So therefore, the arrangements have to be made accordingly. And I think it's a big logistic exercise in which perhaps the Indian government and all the Indian officials, as well as the election commission, which is an independent body, I think everyone deserves a fair amount of credit to that. Therefore, this is a nice percentage, and we in certain other areas you may find some more percentage going up and down, both ways. In fact, in the first phase, there was a number of remote areas, and incidentally, even in the remote areas, where, as you mentioned, the logistic difficulties notwithstanding, I think the voters' turnout has been even better than some of the cosmopolitan cities, where the logistic problems are not that grave. So I think it's more of an enthusiasm and perhaps a desire for inclusive growth, and perhaps show the real power of the democracy, which is with the people. So people must exercise their power. That has been perhaps a message which is being conveyed by a developing country like India, perhaps to the rest of the world.
Now, Narendra Modi's party is up against a whole coalition with dozens of other parties there. Is this simply voting for the government on one hand and voting for anyone but the government on the other?
You could say that way, but the fact is that there is no doubt that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been very popular. If you take, forget about India, if you take the international approval ratings, I think all the agencies in the West, they have also pointed out that Modi's approval rating is 78%, which is far ahead of number two in the world, which is Mexico, Argentina, and followed by Switzerland and Poland. I think overall, the way India has developed in last 10 years, you can imagine in a matter of about 10, 11 years, we have jumped from 11th economy to 5th economy. So this is a big jump which India has seen. Same is the case with certain basic essentialities in life, like the water, roads, electricity, and basic essentials, gas, reaching everywhere in every corner. Because we are a developing country, and with such a huge population, we are also the most populated country. So, considering that, I think there are many challenges which are not so easy to understand. And the governance in India is one of the most difficult governance, I must say that, because we have a large variety of caste, creed, religion, development levels, similarly, the regional levels, regional influences. And not a very long country, because 77 years of age of a country is not too long as compared to when we compare to other democracies like USA or otherwise.
Well,
So I think,
indeed, and like
considering that,
many,
we have done fairly well.
they've done fairly well. Now, like other democracies, there's very often a north-south divide. In Tamil Nadu, we had reports in Associated Press that with some voters saying that the BJP is, or a vote against the BJP is opposing one language, one culture, and one system and one kind of food.
In a democracy of the size of India, there will be regional issues always, and those issues, they get settled with various debates and various oppositions. We would have seen that even in South, again, people have voted for regional parties when it comes to their local issues, and when it comes to the national level, perhaps people do vote differently. So, considering these issues, whether Tamil Nadu will certainly have issues, and in all democracies, India is no exception. There are always certain issues which are there raised by the local leaders as well as local parties at various levels. So I'm sure those issues will be taken care of by the proper democratic process which exists in the country, whether irrespective of who forms the government, whether at the center or in those areas. And also, the process is very well taken off because you see there are certain laws not very popular, but were adopted in a manner because people felt that they are needed. Similarly, certain laws may not suit a particular segment of the society or a particular region, but if it is in the overall interest of the country and if the majority exists, then they do get passed. So managing everything in India is not all that easy, as I said, because different segments and different regions have different aspirations and different challenges as well. So yes, there is no doubt that in South, people are a little apprehensive of the language and things like that. But then I think enough leverage is being given in the education systems and
Well, General,
that they can choose their languages.
Indeed, General, it's a fascinating topic. Thanks very much for shedding some light on the Indian elections, which got underway over the last couple of days and will last for several days now. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.